Hello everyone, welcome. In this live video, I'm going to be doing a pick a card message on what past life pattern are you repeating that is holding you back, okay? In another video, we will ask other past life questions. But in this video, we are focusing on what past life pattern are you repeating that could be holding you back? And also, how is this past life pattern possibly helping you in your path right now? If you're watching the replay, please bear with me as I am doing this live, but I might post the timestamps when I post this on my YouTube channel. I might post the timestamps in the description, okay? Hello everyone. All right, so we are going to do 3 piles today. 3 cards, I guess you could say. Although we are doing like a pick a card, it's gonna really be like pick a pile. Thank you. God bless me. All right, so we are going to, I'm gonna start putting out the numbers so that you know which number to pick. Hello, 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 hello. Can you open that door for me? Because the fumes are... All right, so pick a pile. So let's go ahead and get going. So we have, for pile number 1, we have the smoky quartz. So pile number 1, you get smoky quartz. Smoky quartz. Pile number 2, you get green aventurine. Green aventurine. I figured we'd pick with crystals today. Pick the piles with crystals. So you have the green aventurine tower. Pile number 2. Pile number 3, you get the selenite wand, flower of life selenite wand. So those are the piles. Pile number 1, smoky quartz. Drop to lock it in, drop the number that you choose in the comments. Pile number 1, this is smoky quartz. Pile number 2, green aventurine. And number 3, the selenite flower of life wand. Satin spar. But we all call it selenite, even though it's satin spar. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. So if you do lock in the number, it makes it easier for our spirit guides to know who they are talking to. So it's easier for me to open the proper Akashic records, okay? So this will be the Akashic records of the collectives of pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. So make sure that take what resonates and leave what does not. So in this reading, we are going to be doing what past life pattern are you repeating? How is this past life pattern holding you back? And how is it helping you, okay? Now some souls have had hundreds, if not thousands of past lives. So for some of you, this could be a pattern that has taken you over thousands of years to get over, and you're here in this lifetime trying to overcome it again. For some of you, it's a new pattern that just started happening in a previous lifetime. So let's go ahead and see what that is all about. So first pile number 1, we're starting with smoky quartz. Pile number 1, smoky quartz. All right. Guardian of the Akashic records, will you please show me the past life pattern that is holding back those who chose pile number 1, and how that pattern is both harming and helping their path in this lifetime. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Pile number one. How is this? Interesting. Okay, so pile number one, I'm hearing this pile, this lesson has been kind of holding you back since the time of Adam and Eve. Whew. Okay, before I keep going, let me see what other card Spirit wants to pop out for me. I feel like pile number one, you've always felt cast out into the cold. This is a pattern that has been haunting you since the time of Adam and Eve. So like if we're timing Adam and Eve, let's say like it would be maybe like the last 6,000 years. Wow, okay. I see, pile number one, that most of you were a female in that lifetime. Whether you are a male or a female in this life does not matter. I'm seeing that you were a female in that lifetime. Now, I'm not saying that you were Eve necessarily, but you definitely around the time of Adam and Eve. I feel that you were, I'm hearing Jezebel. I don't know why, but like I'm hearing Jezebel, even though Jezebel is from a different time in the biblical history. For some of you, this is a pattern having to do with Lilith as well. Okay, all right, hold on. I'm looking deeper into the book. So this pattern feels like you comparing yourself to other women. No matter how powerful you are, no matter how smart you are, no matter how divinely connected you are. Pile number one. I'm getting this sense of like comparing yourself to, okay, now I understand the difference, like the comparison between Lilith and Eve kind of thing. So I'm feeling that no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how powerful you are, no matter how impactful you are in the thought realm, in the spiritual realm, you still feel inferior to women that attract through their beauty. Women that attract, even though you're beautiful, but you have way much more to offer. But you kind of like compare yourself because it's like, why she has like so little to offer compared to me. All she has to offer is like submission to him and like beauty, and not that there's, you know, that's less than, but you're like, I have beauty and I have all of this stuff, all of this other stuff to offer, but yet they're still choosing her instead of me. So I'm getting this sense, pile number one, that the thing that you're supposed to overcome in this lifetime is like your need to feel like you're inferior to other women that use their like exterior beauty or their exterior power to attract men or attract partners, and to stand in your power knowing that nothing that's yours can really be taken. You have this power, pile number one, that is supposed to be able to take care of you financially and help you fulfill like all of your wildest dreams. Wildest, Jesus, why can't I speak today? Wildest dreams. The problem is that in every lifetime, you've wasted your time so much comparing yourself to other people, and you're doing it in this lifetime too. This is a pattern that is repeating. You literally have wasted like 5,000 years doing this. You've wasted your time so much in the last 5,000 years, 5,000, 6,000 years, comparing yourself to the other woman. That's what I'm hearing. The other woman. That it's actually kind of made you walk away from your dreams to submit to what a man would want from that other woman. Kind of changing yourself in order to be seen, in order to be recognized. Six of Wands is all about wanting to be seen, wanting to be recognized, okay, for what you provide. And the reason why you keep repeating this life over and over and over again, and this pattern over and over and over again, is because your higher self is trying to get you to understand that you need to walk away from comparing yourself to other people and focus on your dreams and plan and manifest the type of life that you actually desire. Spirit wants you to know, like, your ship is coming. But what's actually holding you back, like, I'm actually getting a headache now. Spirit wants you to know that, like, it's kind of like giving your spirit guides a headache, because they keep trying to get this message across to you to have faith that your ship is coming. Ship meaning your opportunity, your chance, your time is coming, and that any man or any person that values exterior over interior, and over interior intelligence and over your spiritual ability, is not worth your time. Because the divine twin flame that you're looking for is someone who is going to value everything that you have to bring to the table. When you realize that and you break the pattern of comparing yourself to the Eve, to the Jezebel, you will achieve your new beginning. And your mind will start to be valued, and you won't feel confused anymore. There will be an enlightenment that will happen, and you will reach almost like Christ consciousness, where you will know that you are extremely all-powerful. When you stop comparing yourself to other people too. So even if the Jezebel Eve reference doesn't resonate with you, like if you're not comparing yourself necessarily to other women's beauty, you're comparing yourself to other women's talents, to other people's talents. And when you stop comparing yourself to other people's talents, you will realize that your ship has come in, that your opportunity has come in, and everything that you've ever wanted is going to happen for you. You're going to be able to use your manifestation power to make everything you ever wanted happen for you. And that Christ consciousness will be able to happen for you. A lot of people don't know that Mary Magdalene was actually the first Christ. Jeshua became Christed after Mary Magdalene became Christed. Mary Magdalene, who was deemed like a prostitute and not worthy by the church, she became Christed spiritually before Jeshua did. Yet Jeshua was the one that got the credit in the physical realm. But Mary Magdalene was actually the first one that became Christed. And her gospel actually talks about that. If you ever read the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, about how she achieved a Kundalini awakening, which allowed her to become enlightened. And Christ is not a name, it's a title. So Christ means that you have reached the highest level of enlightenment, that you have become an ascended master. That's what Christ actually means. So if you are somebody who supposedly follows Christ, you're supposed to be spiritually enlightened and be a spiritually enlightened master, okay? So if you read the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, it actually talks about how Mary Magdalene actually achieved Christ consciousness before Joshua did. And then she helped Joshua awaken his Kundalini energy and reach Christ consciousness, okay? That is something that the religion won't tell you. They purposely took it out so that you wouldn't know that, okay? So, but Mary Magdalene is known in places like France for having been the first Christ, okay? And then after her, Joshua became Joshua Christ, okay? Because like I said, Christ is an enlightenment name. It's not a name. It's a title, okay? So I'm saying that to say your mind is extremely needed. Your perception, your words, your divine femininity is extremely needed. I'm not putting anybody down in saying this, but relying only on your physical body is the way that the toxic feminine behaves. The toxic feminine doesn't think good enough of herself, that she only relies on her physical body to achieve anything. And then when that physical body is gone, they are left with nothing. They are left with nothing, and they are left with this, okay? Broken and cast out into the cold. But the divine feminine that uses her mind and her beauty together, uses her power together, is able to overcome a lot more, okay? So you might, like I said, you might be a female or a male in this lifetime, but in that past lifetime that is ruling you, you were this female in power, but you always felt like you had to compare yourself to the Jezebel, to the Eve. And your soul has been trying to overcome this lesson for like the last 6,000 years until finally you came across this video, and hopefully this video is going to help you break that pattern. And like I said, you could be a male as well who is going to have to learn to appreciate the divine feminine rather than always being attracted just to the toxic feminine that only relies on her physical beauty, that has no substance, okay? So pile number one, I feel like you are meant to be a powerful balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine. That means that you are able to utilize your receiving ability like the divine feminine and your creating ability like the divine masculine to create change in your life. But the pattern that is hurting you the most is comparing yourself to other people. Whether you're a male or a female in this lifetime, it's the pattern. It's like you've changed bodies to try to see if, like, hey, maybe if I'm a man, I'll be recognized for what I'm worth. You've changed bodies. You've changed so many exterior things to get people to value this mental power that you have, this like spiritual power that you have. When in reality, all you needed to do was walk away from comparing yourself to other people and what other people think of you. The way you can break this pattern is to make a conscious effort to stop comparing yourself to other people, okay? To focus on spreading your truth. Focus on spreading your truth and your divine purpose. Okay, so this card represents two things for me. It represents a divine partnership, and it also represents to me a life purpose where you are balanced in your masculine and your feminine divinity. Okay. Also, restoring your faith in yourself, in the divine. I feel like you've lost faith in yourself. You've lost faith in the divine. You've lost faith in humanity. Actually acknowledging who you are and how powerful you are and how deserving you are of this recognition. Once you start to recognize yourself, pile number 1, for your power, once you start saying, you know what, actually, I have a lot to offer, and it doesn't matter if other people see it or not. So basically, when you stop seeking validation from others is when you will actually start receiving it. When you start doing the thing without waiting for the validation from other people is when you will actually start receiving that validation that you want. But Spirit is saying now it's time for you to start following your dreams and stop being distracted. So right now, this might be manifesting for you in your life as you like maybe looking at other people's social media accounts and saying like, oh man, I wish I had her thing or his way of doing things, or I wish that I had her following or his following or whatever. This might be manifesting as you looking at everybody else and wanting that to be your life, instead of recognizing the power of your own life and the power of your own mind and your own spiritual connection, and recognizing yourself so that everybody else, because once you start with you, pile number 1, you're such a powerful manifester that if you say nobody sees me, that's exactly what's going to happen. If you say somebody's going to hate on me, that's exactly what's going to happen. If you say, I don't know, nobody's going to value this, that's exactly what's going to happen. Or if you say, I'm never going to find love, that's exactly what's going to happen. Because you are a very powerful manifester, pile number 1. You, like I said, you have been here, you have come back here over and over and over and over and over again for the last 6,000 years. You are a powerful manifester. You draw down. And if you picked pile number 1, you might also want to pick pile number 3, because the magician has a selenite wand here. So there might be a message for you in pile number 3. But you draw down. Everything that happens to you, pile number 1, is a mirror of what you believe. The universe hears what you have to say because you're such an old soul. The universe hears what you have to say and then goes, okay, let me Tetris cube this into what pile number 1 thinks should be happening for them. What pile number 1 thinks is happening. So it's all about what you think is happening right now, not what you wish would be happening, but whatever you believe is happening to you right now is what will happen to you. All right, pile number 1. So let's go ahead and see what, so your talent is your mind. It's your spiritual gift. Your spiritual gift is what's supposed to help you break this pattern. Your spiritual gift, your mind, if you might be a very business-oriented person. You might be a very spiritual person. So your spiritual connection, your faith, your mind, your entrepreneurial skills, your leadership skills are your power, pile number 1. Okay? So that is how you break the pattern. All right, pile number 2. So that is the message for you, pile number 1. Good luck. I hope that you receive everything that you need to receive. Remember, your ship is coming. It's just waiting for you to believe that you are worthy of it. When you believe you're worthy of it, pile number 1, the ship will come to you. Gracias, misericordia. All right, pile number 2. Pile number 2, you have the green aventurine. Green aventurine for you, pile number 2. Let's go ahead and take a look and see. All right. I clear the energy of pile 1. Guardian of the Akashic. What message do you have for pile number 2? What does pile number 2 need to know? What pattern, what past life pattern is pile number 2 repeating? That needs to be broken. And what talent is helping them? Okay. Pile number 2, you might have been a high priestess in a past life. A very emotionally vulnerable person. Ooh, plagued by a lot of demons. Ooh, pile number 2. Some of you might have been burned alive for your spiritual abilities. So you might sabotage yourself. Yeah, oh my God, okay. There's very, very powerful energy here. Very powerful magical energy. So you got the High Priestess, the King of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Devil, the Magician, the Emperor, the Four of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Four of Coins upside down. Let me take this in a little bit. The cycle needs to end. So the cycle is ending here. Okay, so pile number 1, I'm hearing you were a witch. You were a witch or a warlock in a past life. You were a witch or a wizard in a past life. You were a witch or a wizard in a past life, and Spirit was pointing to the torch here in the devil's hand. And I'm getting that you were persecuted. I'm getting that you were persecuted for this, and you were possibly burned alive for this. So you might either have a really strong love for fire or really fearful of fire, because you were burned alive. So you are one of the witches they burned, honey. And I'm getting that the man who accused you and the man who led you to being burned was actually the love of your life. Was actually your husband. Is what I'm getting here. Either your husband or your father figure. So if you were a male in this past life, because some of you were a male, some of you were a woman. Some of you were a wizard, some of you were a witch. You were burned alive. And you were turned in, you were betrayed by either your husband or your father figure. I'm getting for money. I'm getting that some of you were actually a witch that was part of an Italian family, that the Italian family was like in the pocket of the Catholic Church. So I'm getting that whoever you guys were, you weren't burned in the United States. You weren't burned in the Americas. You were burned in Europe for your magic. So some of you might have like Celtic, Druidic, Norse, possibly like Hellenistic ancestry. I'm seeing beings like Hades stepping forward. So, and Hades belongs to the Greek pantheon, so you might have also lived in Greece. And I'm being told that your family was, for some of you, your family was, your father was in cahoots with the Catholic Church. Possibly your family might have been bankers for the Catholic Church as well. And they're telling me that you were burned alive for your magic in a past life. You may not feel connected to the lineage that you were born in because you were burned alive. And sometimes when you're burned alive, your soul gets disconnected from the lineage that it was originally connected to and gets reconnected to a different lineage. So you might not feel. One of the things the guardian just said to me is when you get buried, usually you remain in the same lineage. When you reincarnate, you reincarnate in the same lineage. But when you get burned, you usually reincarnate in another lineage, or you reincarnate in another planet. So you were burned alive. So when you reincarnated, you were white in a past life is what I'm getting here. If you are a person of color in this lifetime, I just want you to know that you were white in a past life. You were European in a past life, because this is definitely giving me European vibes. You were either white or white passing. Some of you worshipped the goddess. Some of you worshipped the Hellenistic gods, which were the Greek gods, the Roman gods. Some of you were druids. So what is the pattern? You sabotage yourself. You hide in this lifetime because you are afraid of being burned alive again. You are afraid of being persecuted. You are afraid of being killed for your power. You are afraid of people being afraid of you. You are afraid of people accusing you of working with the devil. You are afraid of people seeing your light and your darkness. People seeing the power that you hold, your psychic ability. You're afraid of what people are going to say. You're afraid of what people are going to feel about you. You're afraid of what people are going to think about you. You're afraid of, I feel like you're still dealing with these daddy issues, or this like husband issues or spouse issues, because you have a hard time maybe trusting a spouse because your spouse was the one who turned you in, or trusting your father because your father was the one who turned you in. So you might also suffer with like drinking addiction or severe depression because you were killed for such a powerful ability that you had, and for the ignorance that was there. I feel like some of you were turned in for money, like there was some sort of financial reward for turning you in, especially those of you who got turned in by a spouse. I feel like there was a financial reward for turning you in. So you might distrust your spouse with money because that person, the person in the past life, betrayed you for money. But Spirit is saying the thing that you fear most, pile number 2, is the thing that is going to make you break the pattern. You have to give up this fear of persecution. You have to give up this fear of people seeing your power, because your power is not demonic. I think some of you even are afraid, were born with this fear that your power is demonic because you were burned for it before. And Spirit is telling you, like, you were the witches they burned, but guess what? You're back. You're back, and you need to take what's yours back. You need to listen to your intuition. You need to use your power. You need to stop hiding your power. Stop hiding your power. You're sabotaging yourself and you're telling yourself lies. I'm hearing Stevie Nicks' song, "Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies." So some of you, like I said, might have a lot of relationship issues, a lot of trust issues because of this. Some of you might have a fear of your own power because of this, and because you fear your own power, you hold yourself back from achieving everything that you could be achieving with your magic, with your abilities, with your intuition. But Spirit is saying that when you sit in your power, you'll finally find happiness and contentment. You'll finally find what you're looking for. But the pattern has to be broken. The pattern of fear of persecution has to be broken. You have to use your gifts to help the people you were supposed to help. I'm getting some of you, especially those of you who had the Druid ancestry, the Druid past life, you may be very drawn to talking to trees. You may be very drawn to talking to plant spirits. You may be very drawn to talking to crystals, especially trees, because you were just doing medicine. You were doing medicine and you were demonized for it. And now you're kind of like, you have this draw to it, but you stay away from it because you're like, I have this fear and I'm not sure where it's coming from. I'm telling you where it's coming from. It's coming from the fact that you were burned alive for it before. It's coming from the fact that ignorant people betrayed you and in a past life and burned you for your power. But Spirit is saying you're not going to find this happiness that you're looking for until you fully step into your witch-wizard vibe. Until you fully step into your witchcraft, into who you really are, you're not going to feel like you belong. You're not going to feel gratitude. You're not going to feel satiated. You're not going to feel settled in your soul. Because you came here to be like, y'all burned me in a past life, but F you because I'm back. And I'm back better than ever. And now I'm fucking fireproof. You are infinite, pile number 2. You're an infinite being. There is no human limitation for you. You're an infinite being. I feel like the universe responds to you, not even by accident, intentionally. I feel like I'm hearing the word avatar. And I'm saying avatar in the sense of like the Avatar, not the Avatar movie, but like the Avatar show with the 4, like the Fire Nation, Air Nation, Water Nation, Earth Nation. Pile number 2, I feel like you're a freaking avatar. Excuse my language. You are an avatar. And Spirit is saying, think of that burning at the fire stake as your initiation by fire. Your initiation by fire. That was your initiation by fire, pile number 2. You had an initiation by earth before. Some of you might have been drowned as well. So some of you might have been drowned. If you have a severe fear of drowning or claustrophobia, some of you might have been buried alive. Some of you might have been drowned. Some of you might have been burned for your psychic magical abilities. And Spirit wants you to, Spirit gave you the opportunity to incarnate during this time so that you could openly show your power without fear of persecution. You came here to change the world by being yourself. By being your full self and by stepping into your power fully, you are going to inspire other people to say, you know what, I'm not going to be afraid of my magic anymore. I'm not going to be afraid of people persecuting me. I'm not going to be afraid of somebody drowning me or burning me or burying me alive or whatever anymore. Or hanging me, God forbid. So, this is your time, pile number 2. This is exactly the reason why you incarnated at this very time. And if fire, and if drowning, and if hanging, and if burying you alive couldn't destroy your soul, what makes you think a few words on the internet is going to? A few words on the internet, whatever somebody may have to say, whatever so-and-so in your life, Miss Karen Bible Thumper has to say in your life. Sorry if your name is Karen. I'm sorry. But whoever has to say that has absolutely no knowledge of what God actually is, that God is all around us, that God is within us, not just in a book or in a church, doesn't matter. It's your time. You did the time, so you might as well do the crime. You already got punished for something that you didn't do, so you might as well do the crime. Okay? So it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. All right, pile number 2. So that is your message. Let go of the fear of persecution. Step into your power. Your power is needed right now. So that might be, you might be drawn to crystals or plants or healing or being a psychic or being a witch, whatever it is. It's time for you to step into your power. Alrighty. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Some of you might want to listen to Fleetwood Mac's album or Stevie Nicks' album. Yay, pile number 3. Who's ready? Pile number 3. Pile number 3. You picked the Flower of Life selenite wand. So let's go ahead and see what message your spirit guides have for you. What message they have. What message the Akashic Records have regarding what past life pattern are you repeating that needs to be broken? Let's go, pile number 3. Let's see. Guardian of the Records. What past life pattern is pile number 3 collective repeating that needs to be broken? And what talent can help them break this pattern? I'm hearing the song Hello by Adele. Hello, it's me. I've been wondering if after all these years you'd like to go over everything. Okay, so that song is actually dedicated to herself. That song is all about her losing herself and finding herself again. Pile number 3. Okay. Pile number 3, I'm getting the sense that like you sold your soul in a past life for acceptance from others. Like you sold your soul, and selling your soul is not just about like selling your soul to the devil or something. It's about selling your soul is about doing something that is not in alignment with you because you want somebody else's acceptance or because you want a certain lifestyle or whatever. So I feel like you sold your soul in a past life. For some of you though, yeah, so in the past life, some of you became a lost soul and you were found and you were given a chance to reincarnate so that you could do this again without having to sell your soul to be who you really were meant to become. For some of you, you were already a spiritually awake soul in a past life. Like you already ascended and you incarnated on earth, even though you already had reached. So some of you had already reached the level of elevated ancestor, elevated spirit guide, and you were like, they called out, they put a call out for volunteers. The universe was like, hey, we need a volunteer. We need volunteers to go to Earth and fix this shit that the baby, I'm sorry. We need a volunteer that to fix the shit the baby boomers did. Anyway, just kidding. So the universe put out a call for you, and you're like, huh, it's been a while since I've been on Earth. It's been a while. It's been a while. Maybe I should check it out. Maybe I should get help. I mean, how bad could it be? Like, I beat it every other time, so how bad could it be this time? You got tricked. You got fooled, okay? Here's the problem, pile number 3. For those of you who volunteered to come here, some of you came here as an angel of death. Some of you were already an angel of death, and you were helping death pick up souls and help death, like helping people find their lost souls and all of that on the other side. And like I said, a call was put out into the universe that elevated souls were needed to come to Earth and help. But what you didn't realize is that when you fell back to Earth, you were gonna fall hard. You were gonna fall hard, okay? And it was like you became like a fallen angel, because you went from like a 33rd dimension to the 3rd dimension. There it is, the tree of life. So you fell from like all the way up here, or all the way down here. You were all the way up here, ascended, chilling with God, being one with the universe, being part of the big one with everything. And then you were like, oh sure, I'll volunteer. And then boom, now you're down here again. You got suckered in. Some of you were empaths. What is the pattern that is holding you back? It's the same thing that got you back here again. It's the same reason why you decided to sign up to go back to hell to save people. You take on burdens that aren't yours. Pile number 3. This is the reason why you're back here again. Because you said, I will take on burdens that aren't mine. I will volunteer and go back down to hell and help people get out of their hell. Because you, as a soul, have the tendency, in every other past life you've ever done this, this is the pattern you had to break, okay? You decided, let me take on burdens because I'm stronger than them. I'm stronger than those souls. I am more powerful than those souls. I can handle it. They can't. I can handle being in hell. They can't handle it. Let me go back down to hell to help people get out of it. Guess what? Earth is hell. Because this is where we feel pain. This is where we feel discrimination. This is where we feel persecution. This is where we feel anguish. This is where we feel everything. So Earth can either be your hell or your heaven. So pile number 3. You were like, I'm powerful. Earth ain't gonna get me. Please. I already went up all of those Sephiroths. I already elevated up the tree of life. Some people, so this is the tree of life, right? And in the usual tarot, this represents generational wealth, but not just physical, but also spiritual. So you had all of this generational spiritual power. Some people get stuck in different parts of the Sephiroths, the tree of life. And here's the thing. Each Sephiroth is a different dimension of elevation. Some of you were already like in the 4th dimension, where you were just helping people who were transitioning, and you were, you were an angel of death. You were just picking up souls, doing your thing. Some of you were angels that were giving messages, spirit guides that were giving messages to your people. But then you were like, you know what? I think that if I am actually in hell with them, I can get across to them faster. Nobody thought, oh, guess what? When you're in hell, the demons are going to attack you too. So you're going to have to overcome your demons too. Is this getting too real for you, pile number 3? Pile number 3, you have immense power. Like I said, you're a fallen angel. You still have your power, your angel powers. You are an angel channel because you are part of the angel realm. Some of you were goddesses. Some of you reached godhood because you elevated so high. You became a demigod, or you became a goddess or a god. Some of you, like I said, were angels of death. And you were like, you know what? I'm gonna go help everybody else in hell. I want to help Earth elevate. I want to help them. Well, you sure are. You took on burdens that weren't yours. So what did you do? You incarnated into cursed families. You incarnated into abusive situations that you had to break. You incarnated into the hardest lessons so that you could have the most empathy, so that you could overcome it and say, well, see, I did it, so you can do it too. I can guide you. I can help you because I got through hell, and I can help you get through it too. Guys, I signed up for the same shit too, okay? I'm not any better than y'all. I was as stupid as everybody else. Oh my God. You know, saying love makes you do dumb things? Universal love makes you do dumb things. And you know what the worst thing is, that one of the things we didn't anticipate is that the demons of the people we are trying to help would fight back, okay? And be like, every time we would say, we can help you get out of hell, the person would be like, I don't want to get out of hell. Why are you telling me I'm in hell? I want to stay here. Because that's their demon talking. They want to stay in, because that's their demon talking, okay? That's their demon. The demon that you came here to help them overcome. But here's the message that Spirit wants me to give you, pile number 3, is you can't liberate people that aren't ready. You didn't come here to awake people that aren't ready to be awakened. The people that are meant to be led by you already are looking for you. The people that are meant to be led by you are already looking for you. All you have to do is shine your lantern. All you need to do is be a beacon. Either with your words or just by shining your light, living in happiness, living heaven on earth, by showing that you live heaven on earth. By showing that you live heaven on earth, you will attract. By sharing your message, you will attract the people that you're supposed to help. You need to light the beacon. I'm hearing Paul Revere's poem. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, I on the opposite shore will be, ready to ride and spread the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm. So all you need to do is ride. All you need to do is ride and light the fucking lantern. and scream your message. And those who are meant to hear you are going to find you. One if by land, two if by sea. I on the opposite shore will be, ready to ride and spread the alarm through every Middlesex village and farm. So all you need to do is show up. All you have to do is show up. Put down the burdens that are not yours. You already did your thing. You already got up the tree. You already carried your own burdens. Put down the burdens that are not yours. And walk away and find your people. Or should I say, let your people find you. Let your people find you. But they can't find you if you are busy trying to convince other people that aren't your people to find you, to believe you, to take your help. So anybody who's not asking for your help, you need to walk away. You need to get comfortable with walking away. Just because you know better does not mean that you have to do it for them. Start that path, whatever thing, whatever business, career, social media, YouTube channel, whatever thing is going, a course that is going to help you propel yourself into what you're supposed to be doing here. However it is that you're supposed to be sounding this alarm. However it is that you're supposed to be lighting this beacon. All you need to do is advertise by shining your light, by speaking your truth. And when you speak your truth, the words you say are going to be a code that are going to be subconsciously written into the people that you're supposed to help. So as soon as they hear the word that they're supposed to hear, boom, it's going to be like a hypnosis, and they're going to be drawn to coming to you for help because those are your people. These are not your people. Okay? The faithless, the people who refuse to change, they are not your people. The people, your people, are the people who are ready to walk away from hell. That are ready to walk away from hell, and they're just waiting for their Charon. They're just waiting for Charon to come and pick them up. Okay? So, some of you need to realize that you didn't come here to help the living. You came here to help the dead. I just heard that. Those of you who are, who used to be angels of death in a past life, like meaning that you didn't incarnate from a human life, you incarnated as an angel from the angel of death dimension, meaning that you were like a Gede spirit before. If you know, Gede spirits are like the cemetery spirits that pick up the dead. Or you were a part of the legion of Archangel Azrael, the legion of the angels of death. Some of you are not supposed to help the living. Some of you are just supposed to help the dead. You're here to help the dead pass on. That's why you don't vibe with the living at all, because you're here literally just to work with the dead. To go to like haunted places where these haunted people are stuck and helping them transition out. Open the door for them to the other world. Okay? Some of you are just supposed to like be paranormal investigators that help these dead souls move on. Some of you are not supposed to work with the living. Some of you are supposed to work with the dead. Some of you are meant to be people who do autopsies and give voices to the dead. Some of you are meant to be death doulas. Not everybody is meant to work with the living. Some of you are meant to work with the dead. Some of you are meant to work with the terminally ill. Because some of you feel like, I don't know if I'll be strong enough to see somebody on their deathbed. But that's what you came here to do. That's what you came here to do. Some of you came to be an empathic helper to someone who is ill, who is dying, who needs your help transitioning. Some of you came here to be nurses and healers. Simply to be at the right place at the right time. Some of you are meant to be hypnotists. Meditation guides. Don't sell your soul to the people that aren't going to value it. That is what happened to you the last human lifetime that you had. And also, if you really think about it, devolving from the oneness of God to being incarnated again in a human vessel, it's like giving up your soul to help others. But so Spirit is saying, don't give up your soul. Don't sell your soul to people that aren't going to value it. Some of you are meant to work on suicide hotlines or 911 call centers. And that is how you are supposed to do your spiritual ability. I'm seeing that some of you are meant to help women and children that are in abusive relationships, domestic violence relationships. And you're supposed to help them get out of that. I see that some of you are supposed to stop child trafficking and human trafficking. That is how you're supposed to be using your power. But you cannot help someone who's not ready to leave. You cannot help someone who's not ready to be liberated. You have to wait for them to be ready, because otherwise you're going to be carrying burdens that aren't yours, and you will be limiting how much you can actually help people, which is the mistake that you keep making. This is the past life mistake that you keep making. Say, I know I'm stronger, so I'm going to carry everything for other people. And then you don't give people the ability to be self-sufficient after you have helped them, because you've carried it all. You need to show people how to save themselves instead of saving them all the time. Some of you are meant to help the homeless and the elderly. So pile number 3. Go shine your light. Go shine your light. Go be the angel that you came here to be. But remember that you cannot save anyone against their free will. Some of you are multi-talented, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some of you are angels that are guides that are multi-talented. You're earth angels that are multi-talented, and you have more than one ability, and that's perfectly okay. You go wherever you're needed. Some of you are firefighters, like you will walk into a burning building for other people, and that is your power. Last night I had a dream that Sam and I were FBI agents, and we were investigating a terrorist attack in Fordham in New York. And I was like, this is the weirdest dream I have ever had, but it was so vivid. I think it was another version of myself in another dimension. So some of you might be firefighters, some of you might be first responders, and that is what you came here to do. But don't overdo it to the point where you burn yourself out and you're not able to help more people because you have overgiven. Help the people that are ready to receive the help. All right, everyone. That is your message. Thank you for joining me. I hope that these past life readings were helpful to you. If you would like to book a past life reading, you can book one on my website. In past life reading, in the personal past life readings, I usually cover 3 to 4 lives that are affecting you right now, and how they are helping you and how they are holding you back. Okay? So, if you would like to book a past life reading, you can find that in my website, highpriestessmay.com. That's the only way to book with me. I will never DM you. You can find that at my link in bio or in the description. Many blessings. Essa é a misericórdia.